if you look at the Ishwar, if you look at the Ishwar Upasana, then it starts off with Lekha. If you can share the screen and if you can look at the Ishwar Upasana. You see this first mantra that we all learn, Vishwani Deva Savitar Duritani Parasuva Yad Bhadran Tanna Asuva. It's, yes, the mantra itself, this first mantra, is not part of the Hiranyagarbha Sutta. I'll repeat that. This first mantra, mantra number 1, is not a part of the Hiranyagarbha Sutta or the Ka Sutta, as it is also known. Right? So that now, so you say why? And there's a very simple reason. Swami Dayananda liked this mantra. He felt it summed up the message of religion, and that is Vishwani Duritani Parasva. Take away all that which is not good. Yad Bhadran Tanna Asuva. Bring to me all that which is ennobling. So he always, when he wrote anything, any of his manuscripts, he would begin by writing Vishwani Deva Savitar Duritani Parasuva Yad Bhadran Tanna Asuva. All right, because it was a very universal message, and that is to remove everything from me and from this world that is not conducive to good living, and bring and bless us with all that which is good. All right, so if you then take that away, your first mantra that starts is Hiranyagarbha. Now we have done this hymn. I've done it, and many of you are doing it in your classes. You've gone through a description of it, or gone through an analysis of it, an explanation. What I want to point out to you today, look at number 2, this mantra, the Hiranyagarbha, starts there. Then look at the third one, says Ya Atmada Balada. Then the next one, Yaha Pranataha Nimishataha. And then the next one is Yena Dyorugra. Now you all have your Aryan prayer, you can follow it in that. Right? Now I'm going to stop there with mantra number 5. Right? Can anybody identify or tell me something about these 5 mantras? I'll leave out the first one, so there'll be 4. All of them have something common in them. Can anybody pick anything?
Namaste, Guru. Dr. G, yes, it's Kasmai Devaya Havisha Videma.
Who's that again? Who's this?
Rina in Joburg.
Oh, Rina, yes. Right, Rina. Perfect. Got it. Did you notice that? Right, all of you, if you just look at it, yeah, thanks, Lekha. Just run it up and just point out that. Right. Now, this is what I want to focus on today. We all know, and we know the meanings, and we want to look at why do we repeat these. Just like at the end of these 4 mantras, you get Kasmai Devaya Havisha Videma. I'll take you through the meaning of that. But before we do that, would anybody like to comment on this Kasmai Devaya Havisha appearing at the end of these 4 mantras? Do you think, firstly, here it is called a literary device. When you study poetics, and what are some of the characteristics of poetry? Because these verses, the Rig Veda, is also a kind of poetry. These mantras, we call them suktas, the Hiranyagarbha Sukta. These are hymns. They are called hymns, right, of the Rig Veda. So, which means they are written in a poetic form. Right? So, where else do you hear the repetition of certain parts? Can anybody tell me? In poetry or in song or anything related, do you get these kinds of repetition?
Yes, sometimes you do, Dr. G, to emphasize something.
Yeah, right. The simple thing is when you get a song, when somebody writes a song,
In the
you know, a
chorus.
song will start off with 1 or 2 lines and we call it the mukhada. The mukhada means those are the main lines. Sometimes it is called the chorus. Sometimes it is called the refrain. So if you had to take a popular song, any popular song, Dil mein chupa ke pyar ka tufan le chali or something like that, a popular song. Now you'll find that song, that line will be repeated often. You'll go into another little thing and you'll come back to that main chorus or refrain. So in other words, that 1 or 2 lines that are repeated in the song carry the main message of the song. You know? Okay. So similarly, if you look at this now, if you look at this you see, I'm trying to take you through this. We're not doing a study of the Hiranyagarbha Sukta. You've done that already. I want to can anybody recall any other sets of mantras where you get repetitions like this? In your Shanti Karan, for example, mantras. What happens there? Give you a little clue. Your Shiva Sankalpa mantras. What happens in Shiva Sankalpa mantras? There's 6 of them there.
Shiva Sankalpa Mastu.
Shiva Sankalpa Mastu.
That's right. Can you see that? All 6 mantras finish with Tan me manaha Shiva Sankalpa Mastu. So now the mantra goes on and at the end it says Tan me manaha Shiva Sankalpa Mastu. So in that instance, very quickly, what is the message that is being repeated? Right? So the refrain there is saying Tat me manaha, that me manaha, of my mind, Shiva Sankalpam Astu. Let that resolve of Shiva be of my mind. So let there be in my mind, there's a resolve of Shiva, and each time there's a description that is given, it'll finish with that line. So reinforcing the idea that I should make Shiva the resolve of my mind. And in the Vedas, Shiva means peace, calmness, quietness, and that should be the resolve of my mind. Are you all with me so far?
Yes, all good. Thank you.
Right. Now, use that here. And let's look at the meaning first of Kasme Devaya Havisha Videma. And then let's see why it is repeated for these 4 mantras. Anybody would like to explain Kasme Devaya Havisha Videma? The meaning of it? All right. Let's look at it word by word and understand it. Right? So the first word is Kasme. Kasme, and it is followed by Devaya. Anybody knows what case those 2 words are in? Nominative case, dative, accusative?
Dative case.
It is dative case. Somebody wants to explain why? How you got dative case, what is the word and how it becomes dative?
We've got to somebody.
To that.
To that.
Yeah, but can you tell me how what is the word and how it became dative?
From Deva.
The Deva becomes Devaya, Soma, Somaya, Indra, Indraya. Right? You know, you do those mantras, you say Indraya Swaha, Idam Indraya, Idam Namama, Somaya Swaha, Idam Somaya, Idam Namama. So Devaya is the dative case. So we look at Kasme then. Kasme goes with Devaya. Kasme is also the dative case. And whereas in Devaya, the word is Deva, in Kasme, the word is Ka. Ka or Kaha. K-A-H. The H has a visarga, kaha or ka. So we take those two words together, kasmai devaya. To that deva, and we're going to use the word ka. To the deva ka. So now we're going to say, what is the meaning of ka? Now, if you do not know, ka is the first letter of the alphabet. Ka, ka, ga, ga, anga. And ka means also kaha, K-A-H, with the visarga on the H, means who, W-H-O. Kaha means who. But ka, K-A, as a word, means the creator of all living beings, the Purusha. Right? The creator of all living creatures, that Purusha is ka. That ka in the dative case becomes kasmaya. So to that deva, ka, to that deva, who is the supreme being, we're left with Havisha and Vidhema. Havisha is, the word there is Havi. Havi becomes Havisha. Anybody knows what the meaning of Havi is?
Offering.
Yes.
Offering.
Yes. When you offer samagri and ghee and all of that into the havan, then that offering is called Havi. See how closely it is related to the word havan. Havi, we offer Havi into havan. Right? But now here in the Ishwar Upasana, you are not necessarily doing a havan when you're singing this or chanting these mantras. What if you are not doing a havan and you are chanting these verses? What would Havi then stand for? So in a havan, right, you are offering samagri. As fire burns and you make offerings of samagri into the havan. That is your Adidevik havan. Agni is your devata, and you're offering samagri and all of that into that Agni, into that havan. Right? What would be your Adhyatmik havan?
Blessings.
Your spiritual energy.
Yeah.
Your faith
one
and
is
devotion.
A physical havan outside. And even in that mantra, it says, Udbuddhyasva pratijagrihi. Arise, awake. Now, words like Udbuddhyasva mean, firstly, the fire must be kindled and become bright. But it is also giving you an Adhyatmik Atma. Right? The Atma must also become spiritually kindled and illuminated. So there's two kinds of fires that are burning. The one in the yajna and the one that is that light within you, that jyoti, Agni Jyoti, Surya Jyoti, the external Agni Jyoti, Surya Jyoti, and the inner Jyoti, the spiritual Jyoti. Right. Now that spiritual Jyoti is related to a spirituality, a supreme being, and your offering there when would be what the word we use, outpouring, like you pour ghee. When we have an outpouring of devotion, it means there's a devotion that is coming from within you. And that is the havi that you are offering into the spiritual havan. The havan by which your inner being gets illuminated. Are you okay? No?
Yes, Dr. J. Yes,
Huh?
thank you. Well done.
Yes, thank you.
So there's two havans that are taking place, right? The one is the external havan and the one is your inner spiritual Hava. Right? So here when we're talking about to that supreme being, that Ka Deva, Deva Ka, with the Havi, right? With devotion, therefore the meaning given there is with faith and devotion. Here our samagri is our faith and our devotion, which we are offering to the yajna of our spiritual evolution, our inner spiritual illumination. And you're left now with the word vidhema. Vidhema means we should contemplate. I'm using the word should deliberately because grammatically it is called the potential mood. Potential is when we use the word should or ought to. We ought to pray, we should contemplate. All right. So this Kasmai Devaya Havisha Vidhema, now each time is telling you that we should pray with devotion and faith to that Deva, the Deva Ka, the Deva that is the Purusha, the Deva that is the creator of all beings. Remember, this is a hymn of creation. Because we're starting off with Hiranyagarbha and we're talking about how creation evolves from Hiranyagarbha. Right? From this golden womb, how everything evolves. Therefore, we are speaking about that Deva, that is Ka, that is the Purusha, that is the creator of all beings. Now, if you understand that, then the next question you say, why do these 4 mantras have it at the end? And I would like most of you, I think, know the meanings of these mantras. Would somebody like to offer an explanation as to why and what is the style? This is a literary style, a style of literature, a style of being your poetry, a Vedic style, a Vedic literary style. So what is the Vedic literary style? The style of the literature in these 4 mantras. What are they doing each time before they're telling you Kasmai Devaya Havisha Vidhema? If it comes at the end of the 4, why is it important? Why are we repeating?
Is it in praise? Is it in praise of God?
Praise of God.
You know, everything is in praise of God. But why? Why? You got to look at the verses now. Look at the verses. Remember the style. What I'm trying to do today is talk about what kind of style is being employed here. What style, literary style is being used here.
We're acknowledging the creator in all these 4 mantras.
In all 4 mantras, yeah, look at all 4 mantras. And listen to, this is a logic. There's a kind of logic at play. So we're not just saying, all right, come everybody, you must put your hands together and pray. Let's pray to God. Let's sing devotion to God. Let's sing. No, no, no. It is telling you why you should. The word Vidhema says we should. We should pray to it. So obviously, if you're going to say we should do this, then you're going to give a reason. Right? We must pay our taxes. We should pay our taxes. Why? You got to explain to a person, the country gets the money, it makes our roads, makes our houses, does everything. Therefore, we should pay taxes. You follow that? So you explain it and then you say, therefore, we should do this. Now, therefore, it is telling you. All right? Now, I'm going to give you the example. Number 2, let's take the first one. Hiranyagarbha samavartadhatu. Bhutasya jata patir eka asi. At the beginning, when this whole creation was in its primordial state of this womb, Garbha, the womb, the shining womb, this luminous orb, Right? At the beginning, Samavartatagre, Jataha, he was the creator, Bhutasya, of this, this universe in its inanimate form. And it says that Patir Eka Asit. He was a one Eka Pati, he was the one Supreme Lord, and he sustained the earth and the heaven. Sadadhare Prithivim Dhyamutema. Therefore, Kasme Devaya Vishabhidema. Therefore, we should contemplate on that creator, that being, with faith and devotion. And you should ask yourself then why? And his answer is why? Because he is Hiranyagarbha. Because he was there, Samavartatagre, at the beginning. Because he was the one Lord of this inanimate creation. Because he sustains the earth. Because he sustains the heavens. Therefore, to that Kahadeva, we should pray with devotion. Right? You got it? Everybody's quiet. Are you understanding?
Yes, thank you.
Got it? All right.
Yes.
Let's do this. Somebody take the number 3, Atmada, and tell me why what is the reason? Kasme Devaya Havishabhidema. Why? Why Kasme Deva Havishabhidema? Come on. You can even read the English.
Because God has given us both the physical body and he's given us the Atma within. Therefore, we should be praying to him.
Yeah. And because we also know that the learned ones, isn't it? Viśeṣa Upasate. The Devas pray to him. The learned ones pray to him. So if we do not know, then at least we follow our learned ones, our Devas, and we do what they do. Yasya chaya amritam yasya mrityu. Because in him is what? Both immortality and mortality. Amritam and mrityu. Both are there. Therefore, Kasme Devaya Vishabhidema.
The verse is also saying who it is that is surrendering to the Bhagavan. It is the soul who has placed the soul into the body, and therefore we are actually.
Yes, Atmada, right? The soul, Atmada means the one Atma Denevala. So, so if we consist of a soul and a Balada and a physical body, then he's saying we've got it from there. And also, as much as we have the physical body, there's going to be Mrityu and Amrit, right? This will also go through death, and we can work towards becoming immortal, to gaining moksha, right? Therefore, Kasme Devaya Havishabhidema. Look, we don't have much time. With this couple of minutes, let me take some comments. Number 4, very quickly, Pranata, that which has pran. That which does not have pran. Eka Idraja. He is the king of all of this, of Dvipada, Chatushpada, of the 2-legged and the 4-legged creatures. He is Lord of all of this. Therefore, Kasme Devaya Havishabhidema. And number 5 tells you the Dyo, the heaven, the earth. The Dyo is expansive, the earth is drid, firm. And what about all the regions beyond this? The earth, and we can see some of the heaven we can see, but there's a heaven that goes beyond. And the Antariksh, the in-between region, is fluid. So this one here describes the one is firm, the other one is fluid, and the reason beyond we can't even see. But we know there's an order and there's all existing, and it says all of this, right? We can see, therefore, Kasme Devaya Vishabhidema. we must pray with devotion. We should pray to that Deva, right? And why? Because Yena Dyorugra. Each time it is giving you the reason why you should Kasme Deva, we should. And I'm going to leave this thought with you. Number 6, 7, and 8 then gives you the prayer and tells you that being now, if you and I are human beings, then our Lord is Prajapati. And there's no other besides that. For whatever you want, your prosperity and everything, Prajapati. We are the Praja and he is Prajapati. And number 7 tells you, remember, he is your Bandhu. You got a bandhan, like you tie Raksha Bandhan with brother and sister, guard bandhan with husband and wife. That is bandhan, our first bandhan, special bandhan that we have. Right? And then it says, yeah, whether you're doing the Havan or even if you think of Agni in his spiritual luminous form, we say at the end, the last one says, having understood all of this, we say, guide us, lead us, Naya, Supat, on the good path. Lead us on the good path. So that is a summary. I just tried to explain to you the style that is used and how each time the verse will define that Kaha Deva and then tell you, therefore, we should pray with devotion to that. Yeah. Any comments before we finish the session?
Dr. Ramvilas, in that mantra, when we did the Viśeṣa, then does that relate to the spiritual message when we do the Idanna Mama and Havan mantras?
Yeah. Yes. Meaning literally nothing when we're offering. When we're offering that samagri, literally, that samagri is not even mine. It came from nature, the roots, the herbs, the plants. And it says nothing is mine. So basically, when you're saying Idanna Mama, right? Some of us get so caught up in the offering of the samagri that we forget this message. Ultimately, nothing is mine. So what I am doing is surrendering my entire being. Because even that spiritual being, that Atma Da, Atma Dene Wala Bhi is that supreme being. Right? So, Idanna Mama, if you say nothing is mine, then what are you offering to the Havan? If nothing is mine, Idanna Mama, Idanna Mama, Idanna Mama, ye mera nahi hai, kuch nahi hai, then what is it you are offering?
Your faith and devotion.
Devotion.
Yeah, and your being, your very being. Because that is ultimately what we think we are. All right. Is it okay? Aarti ji, others, any other comments?
Is there a name for this Vedic style? Do we have a name for this Vedic style where we sing Kasme Deva, Havideva?
Oh, I'm not sure.
Okay, that's fine.
I'm not sure. I know in Vedic poetics it's a thing, but I'm not sure there's a name for that style. Okay.
It's very beautiful. Dr. G, all I can say, it's very beautiful after you've explained it now.
Yeah. All right, people, also I hope we must always keep understanding, you know, when the whole of India bows, and irrespective of whichever school of thought we are, people keep on saying, if in the Ramayana, it keeps saying repeatedly that everything is, Tulsidas say, whatever I'm saying is according to the Ramayana. In the Gita, you know, Vyasa saying everything I'm saying is according to the Veda. Then there must be a reason. And I'm trying to demonstrate to you why, you know, so much of importance is given to the Vedas and how there is a system, the literature takes you through a step by step. It just doesn't tell you just pray to God, but it tells you, defines God, and then tells you, therefore we should do this. Therefore we should do that. It gives you a kind of rationale. Yeah, we call that, you know, it's in literature, we also call it dialectics. You know, the style of presenting your argument.
Sorry,
So
Dr.
it basically
Ramvilas
presents an argument. Yeah. Somebody saying something?
Yes, Spregaladhan, yeah.
Yeah.
Would it be fair to say, you know, obviously this mantras are before the Avan, so it's more a mental alignment between your mental capacity, your soul and the Paramatma. in order to, because your mind goes all over, is to bring your mind back in focus pre the oven.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's a moment of vidhema. Let us contemplate. We should contemplate, right? And, focus on the Supreme Being. Yes, absolutely. Vidhema is your answer.
Thank you.
Is what you are saying.
Yes.
Yeah. And even Gayatri Mantra says, Dhiyo yona. Before you start the hum, you say Dhiyo. Dhi is your intellect, your buddhi, Dhi. So you say, guide it on the right path. And when you're doing this havan, Agnenaya Supata, take me on the right path, the Supat, the good path. See? And at the end of the yajna, again, you finish off by saying, Agnenaya Supata. We will have gone into my time. Can I say anybody before I say namaste?